Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy holidays. Today I want to do a quick little video on nut trees. So when I first started, I planted a ton of fruit trees and I started gardens. And one of the things that does is it kind of secures your carbohydrates, especially. You know, you've got tons of leafy greens, you've got tons of fruits and sugars and fibers. One of the things that's really hard to get on a permaculture food forest, homesteading, self-resiliency plan is actually fat and protein. Specifically also if you don't raise your own animals, which for us, when I got started, that was one of the things. I could plant a lot of trees. My wife didn't want us to have chickens and goats and all that kind of stuff. We do have chickens now, so it is a little bit easier now to convert those plants into eggs and get that nice fat and protein yield. But a really, really good way to get resiliency is with nuts. Now, nuts is one of those things that you can dry and store, and walnuts, for example, in your basement will last a decade. Like literally, they will last a decade. Most nuts will last anywhere from 2 to 10 plus years. So having nut trees is a really good way to create resiliency against disruption. Specifically food disruptions, energy disruptions, the things that we're going to be facing in the future. Planting a couple nut trees is a really good way of giving yourself and your family stability and locking down that food. So what I'm going to do today is show you 3 of the different types of nuts that we're growing here, and my opinions on which ones you should grow yourselves. We have a lot of other nuts here, but these are the only ones who've come into any form of production, so I can only talk about these ones. Leave comments below if you have other nuts in your area that are fantastic. Now, one of the things that I wanted to plant when I was getting started is pine nuts, cashews, those kind of things. The really popular, expensive nuts. If I'm going to plant something, I should plant something that's expensive. Well, cashews, first off, they don't grow here. I found out that they're a warm climate plant. Pine nuts, we do grow pines here, and we have pine cones, and there's a certain type of pine nut that grows in a warmer climate, which is where most pine nuts come from. But then I realized and found out the reason why they're expensive. The reason why they're expensive is because they are a pain in the butt to process. So we planted a bunch of other nuts. We have hazelnuts, black walnut, we got Heartnut, we got Filbert, we have Carpathian walnuts, we have so many other ones. Can't really think of them at the time. I'll edit them in here, but I want to kind of do this as one quick shoot without a whole lot of editing. So I'll show you some of the ones that we have. So here are some black walnuts. This is what these look like, and you can see that I store these things in orange containers that I save, and these are black walnuts that I've had. These specific ones, I've had them in my basement for probably about 4 years now, and they're perfect. They're perfectly dry. I do put this little desiccant sheet in there, silica gel. I put that in there just to keep it extra dry. And then with the bag from the oranges, we've got some hazelnuts from this year here, and we've also got some Heartnuts from this year. So a lot of people might not have ever heard of a Heartnut. Okay, so these are some Heartnuts. That's what they look like, kind of cool. And then we'll crack some of these open, we'll show you what they look like, and then I'll make some recommendations towards them. First recommendation is grow everything you can. So if it grows well, grow it because it grows well. But my second recommendation, and one that I've only recently come to, is focus not on necessarily what you like the most. Pecans and almonds are some other ones that we have here, and those ones we absolutely love. They grow okay. They haven't come into production yet. But one of the things you should really focus on is ease of harvest. Nuts can be a real pain in the butt to harvest, even if you use methods like where you fill a water bucket full of water. I do this for the black walnuts, and I got this from Edible Acres, Sean Dombrowski. And I use a paint mixer, put that on the end of a drill, and then that'll get the husk off of the nuts, and then you can crack them. That's how I did these. So that's how I did these black walnuts here. But the problem is black walnuts are super, super hard to actually crack open. And Heartnuts are dead easy, and hazelnuts are pretty easy as well. For that reason, we have started focusing really heavily on Heartnuts. This is a nut that I absolutely love. Let's crack some of these open and I can show you what I mean. The black walnuts were actually so hard to crack that I broke my workbench. I screwed it in. I'll show you my nut cracker. It's a heavy duty nut cracker. I actually broke my workbench because they're that hard. So let's pop some of these open. Okay, so here's my makeshift nutcracker, and I got this nice pillow behind there, so hopefully you'll be able to see it really well. And we're gonna crack a couple Heartnuts with this thing. So this thing's just got a long lever here. I open it up, stick that in there, and then these will actually crack so easy. I can just kind of pop it like that, just a quick little pop, and then they've completely cracked open. And we will throw that in these little tubs. Here's a Heartnut here. Actually, it's better if I put it back there. So there's the Heartnut. It's a really, really nice tasting nut. Here's one that's completely intact. So that's the nut. It's quite good. And hazelnuts will fit really well in here as well. So you just put the hazelnut in and just kind of pop it. This thing's so heavy duty. Did I get it? I didn't quite get that one. I gotta go a little more. So here's the hazelnuts. A beautiful hazelnut. Look at that. Forgive my thumb. Hurt that playing hockey. So yeah, those are the hazelnuts and the Heartnuts. Now, I really want to be cautious here with this black walnut. Got to open this up quite a bit. It's big, but I will rip this thing right off of the wall. And I'll try to push up. The other thing is they explode. Oh, I don't want to rip this thing off the wall. Oh. They explode, and they are really tough to deal with. And then this is what you've got. You've got this mess. So this is one of the reasons why I actually don't really like black walnut. They're a super hardy tree. Now you've got to kind of pick these, sorry about that, pick these walnut pieces, focus, pick these walnut pieces out of all of this chaff here. And it explodes. There's really no good way to just crack them gently. I've tried a few methods. Let me just talk about those. Okay, so I just went and got some tools. One method is obviously to smash something with a hammer against a table, but then that's fairly uncontrolled. One method that I really liked, that I did, was I got a cap from anything you can get, and a nail. And what you do is you thread the cap through the nail on the inside, so that this is right through the nail. So for example, you'll put it in like this, and you put that right in the cap so that this is inside. And then when you crack the nut, you can put, this is not quite big enough cap, but you can put the nut like this. And ideally you have a bigger cap. And then when you put this down on a table and crack it with a hammer, smash it, then it'll open really, really easily. You can see this cap would be a little bit too big for this hazelnut, but if you put the nail kind of right in the middle there, and this was inside, and then you put this on the table like that, and you turn it, and then you smash down, you see how that would actually really crack the nut really easily? That works really, really well. It works well with most nuts that are easy to crack, but man, those black walnuts, they still just explode everywhere. I had a shard go really close to my eye. I was wearing glasses and it still, hit my skin just under my eye. And then compare that to just a Heartnut. I can even like hold it here, and you just pop it really, really easily. It splits right down the middle. Pop it open, and there's your Heartnut. It's so nice. If you're looking for a nice cold hardy nut, they actually do have cold hardy almonds and pecans. I'll tell you how those are maybe in, 5 years when I actually get some. The trees are pretty small still. But hazelnuts are really good. They're really quick to grow. So probably in about 3 to 4 years, you can start actually producing because it comes off of a bush. The problem with hazelnuts is that animals will get them. I do have hazelnut picking guides on when to open them up. You actually want to wait till the hazelnut is starting to open, or else you'll get the hazelnut shell, but there won't actually be a nut inside. You really do have to wait till they start to open. But then once they start to open, the chipmunks get them all, like right away. I was checking it twice a day. I did get some. I would pull a couple off, and all the ones that I actually got had no hazelnuts in them. I did get about a bag, so that's not bad out of, I think I have around 20 hazelnut bushes. So I did get some. You can see the hazelnuts, when you get them at the perfect right time, you will get a good hazelnut in. It's like you got a day to get those. The best nut, I would say, by far is a Heartnut, and these are just absolutely amazing. I'm really excited for my hickory nuts. Those are one that, again, I'm probably at least 8 years away from getting hickory nuts, but they're a really important nut for protein if you want to grind it into flour, that kind of thing. But if you want a long storing nut that grows fairly quick and is dead easy to crack open, as you saw in this video, definitely don't overlook the Heartnut. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you on the next one, and I hope everyone has a safe, happy, and merry holidays. And I will probably see you in the new year. I might get another video out, but I can't promise. This is family time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.